Regan Slaymaker for Solar&StorageXtra, and I have the pleasure to be joined by Jason Hunter, the UK Sales Manager for Energy Storage Solutions at Dale Power Solutions. Bit of a mouthful there, Jason, but how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. Yeah, job titles seem to get longer and longer, don't they?
They definitely do. But no, we're here to discuss Dale Power Solutions' participation at Solar&StorageLive London. Before we get into that, shall we start with kind of what do you do and what do Dale Power Solutions do to contribute to decarbonising the energy space?
It's a good place to start. So Dale Power Solutions have been around for nearly 90 years. They were founded in 1935. Historically, they've had always in the power sector, but historically they've worked with uninterruptible power supplies for critical power protection. Not just your commercial ones that look after your file server and your workstations, but right up to industrial scale with black start capability in all of the DNOs and national grid substations to make sure we can get the grid up and running again, across the commercial and industrial sector as well. And also the second division would be backup generators for continuous power provision. So if you have a longer power blackout and you need to keep your intensive care unit running in a hospital within the NHS, it's critical you've got continuous power. And then the third division, obviously, is maintenance and service of that equipment. So we look after over 10,000 assets across the United Kingdom, and we have done for, as I say, 87 years now. All our engineers are directly employed by the business. We don't subcontract out. And we can get to any of our customer sites in GB within a 4-hour response time. So the fact that we're doing 150,000 hours a year, man hours a year of maintenance and service puts us in a very strong position. So the next logical step for the business was to incorporate battery-based energy storage systems. Now, rather than focus on the sort of grid-scale projects and front-of-the-meter systems that are 50 megawatts upwards, we're very much focused on helping commercial and industrial businesses in the UK do two things. Firstly, as you rightly say, decarbonise. Pretty much everybody's on a journey to net zero now. And people, when they start looking at their scope 2 CO2 emissions, for their reporting and annual reports, they don't realize there's quite a substantial amount of electricity of CO2 is generated purely and simply from electricity purchases. There's a company that water bottling company producing 3,700 tons of CO2 a year purely and simply from their electricity. My role at Dale is to help launch the battery storage division out to the market, and here on Solar&StorageXtra, this is effectively our live launch, although come the London XL at the end of April, we're on stand G8 at the show. We've got a keynote presentation, so we'll be talking a little bit more about our BESS, our battery energy storage solutions, wheel of success.
Definitely. We'll get on to the wheel of success in a minute. Obviously, we have had a brief discussion to kind of go over why that's such a big part of your participation at Solar&StorageLive London. But my follow-up question to what you just said there is obviously, are the main reasons why so many people are thinking about energy storage is for that main reason to reach net zero targets and kind of decrease their carbon output from what you've just said?
Well, renewable energy is the key solution to reducing our CO2, getting away from fossil fuels as much as we can. When we reduce our fossil fuels and we increase our sustainable wind and solar, and more of that capacity comes onto the grid, there's more and more of a need for battery storage to help manage that volatility in supply and demand. Battery storage is key to that. It's a digital technology. Historically, we've used things like combined cycle gas turbines and various other kind of analog technology. We're now in the digital age, and battery storage is the place to be.
It definitely is, and obviously you mentioned your wheel of success project there. Obviously, that Dale Power Solutions are obviously this is the soft launch. Obviously, we're going to go for a big launch in London in April. But kind of discuss the Dale Power Solutions wheel of success and kind of what benefit, what companies can benefit from this. What does it involve, and has it been a success so far as well?
Okay. So we're calling it the wheel of success. So if you imagine a Trivial Pursuit wheel, and it's got lots of little or cheese, whatever you want to call it these days, you've got different segments in there. And we don't believe that anybody has completed that circle, that wheel, with all the pieces that you need. So first and foremost, you've got to have the right product partner. So at Dale Power Solutions, we've selected the BYD MC Cube as our core product within our range. Mainly due to its superior safety features. I mean, they haven't had a lithium-ion fire in 15 years, and people get worried about electric vehicles, electric scooters, and things catching fire. The BYD MC Cube is really, really safe, and the blade technology allows very good energy density. So we're getting about 4.4 megawatt hours in a 20-foot skid. So the cell has got a phenomenal track record in automotive from front of the meter utility scale battery projects. And in order to get those batteries fully integrated, we've partnered with EFT Systems out of Germany. It's a long-standing technical partner of BYD. They know the product. They integrate the full battery system from BYD, targeted at a commercial industrial marketplace and small to medium-sized projects. And they allow us to put together the battery management system, the battery cells themselves, the energy management system, and the inverters that convert that DC power into AC current for your facility, your site load. So that's the first segment in the wheel, if you like. Secondly, we're acutely aware that there's a lot of pressure on capital requirements at the moment, and we've partnered with Capitas Finance, who provide a raft of finance and funding solutions, specifically within the energy sector, and they've got some very clever funding solutions for battery storage specifically. So as well as traditional vanilla finance like your hire purchase or your leasing, they can spread the payments out up to 10 years to acquire the battery system. But they can also do some really clever stuff with an SPV type structure with senior debt, mezzanine funding, or subordinated debt, as well as taking finance off balance sheet completely. So you'd pay for your battery storage system in exactly the same way you pay your energy bills today, but you purely and simply pay for it out of the energy bill savings in terms of reducing your energy bills and any ancillary grid revenue that you can potentially get inside. So we can get a battery storage system installed behind the meter, virtually with zero capex upfront. Quite often we can build in a 6-month holiday upfront, so you've got 6 months worth of savings and revenue generation from your battery storage system before you even have to put your hand in your pocket to make that first finance payment. This makes it cash flow positive for the business. The third segment, we're partnering with one of the big 6 energy companies in the United Kingdom to design a unique electricity tariff. Because if you've got a battery storage system on site and you can charge it up at night time with 100% guaranteed renewable energy, and we're looking at power matching on a half-hour by half-hour basis with the renewable energy generation, say the offshore wind farms of Scotland, if we can match that generation at night time, charge your battery up, and then discharge your battery during the day, effectively that takes you completely off grid and helps you reduce your energy supply contracts. We're seeing prices in the market at the moment of between sort of 14 pence and 57 pence a kilowatt hour, depending on the consumption levels. And we believe we can get below 5 pence a kilowatt hour for that electricity supply, charging the battery at night time with 100% renewable energy, and then discharging it during the daytime. So you're avoiding all the fossil fuels that are coming onto the grid during peak times of day when demand is increasing and everybody's at the office. So the fourth piece of the puzzle is data analytics. So while every battery system we install has got its own battery management system, and so you can see what's happening in real time in terms of the state of health of your battery, the state of charge, the voltage it's running at, the temperature, we retain and partner with a German-based analytics company who manage over 3.5 gigawatts of battery storage systems. This allows them to predict almost how the state of health is likely to change depending on the number of cycles and how much you're actually using your battery. So we've got a product partner, which we believe is the best in the world. We've got some fairly unique finance and funding solutions to allow you to take your payments off grid and pay for the system, pay for itself. A unique electricity supply contract that's designed around Dale Power Solutions IP that helps you reduce your CO2 and reduce your energy bills significantly. Then we thought, okay, well, what else might you need? Well, you're going to need insurance of some description, whether that's product insurance or whether it's a more complex insurance product that allows you to protect your business from those energy saving losses and potential revenue losses. So almost like business interruption insurance, but specifically tailored around a battery storage system. So if the battery's not working for any particular reason, that revenue and your energy bill savings are paid out by the insurance company. And then, of course, with engineers across the United Kingdom, Dale Power Solutions' ongoing service and maintenance of your battery system will make sure it's absolutely up to speed. So if we need to refresh some of the battery modules or battery cells during the course of the 10, 15-year life expectancy, we'll come out and do that and build that into the maintenance program around it. So good product partner, good finance and funding, a unique electricity supply contract to people who are buying battery storage systems from Dale Power Solutions, all of your data analytics that you can eat. I mean, we're talking about petabytes of data that's collected and collated, plus your insurance and your service and maintenance. Safety obviously is a key factor for every business, including ourselves. So when we're doing sites inside the M25, for example, we work very closely with the London Fire Brigade. In fact, this time next week, I'll actually be on a site in central London with the London Fire Brigade's alternative energies people, inspecting the site before we design it. So we will design it with your local fire service to make sure that that's in place. All of our systems are built and designed and installed to the National Fire Chiefs Council guidelines for battery energy storage systems. But overall, we believe that having incorporated all of those pieces, it makes what we call a no-brainer for a commercial industrial business. There's a project we're working on at the moment. It's 11.2 megawatt hours of battery. The company consumes just over 11 gigawatt hours of electricity a year. Currently, they're paying about 18 pence a kilowatt hour for their electricity and spending £2 million every single year on electricity. On the Dale Power Solutions electricity supply tariff with a battery storage system, we can buy their electricity in at night time, take them off grid during the day, saving them £1.2 million of that £2 million a year electricity bill. The CO2 they're reporting on their scope 2 CO2 emissions from electricity purchases used to be 3,700 tonnes. Now it's 536. We've saved them nearly 3,200 tonnes of CO2 every single year, which really, really helps them on their journey to net zero. So in terms of making sure we've got all of the pieces of that product that you need, it's not just a case of buying a battery from the company around the corner. It's quite a complex installation. And then, of course, we've teamed up with some of the leading aggregators in the country or battery optimizers for providing grid services and ancillary services to the grid, whether that's in the dynamic containment market or dynamic regulation, or whether it's purely and simply energy arbitrage on the N2EX intraday trading or intraday electricity trading markets. So there's lots of ways to save money and make money with a battery storage system. Who's it for? Well, we've got 5.4 million SMEs in the United Kingdom. 5.4 million small and medium-sized enterprises. There's 9,000 large corporates with 250 plus employees. That's a huge target market. All of them are consuming electricity. Everybody, if they're not already, should be on a journey to net zero to reduce those CO2 emissions. And if you look at electricity prices, everyone's going, oh, electricity's so expensive nowadays. It's trending that direction and has been for quite some time. If you look at the price of electricity between 2005 and 2015, over a decade, commercial electricity prices doubled. Then they doubled again between 2015 and 2020 over a 5-year period. Then they doubled again between 2020 and 2023. So the time it takes for commercial electricity prices to double is a long-term trend. And people will say, yeah, Russia, Ukraine, or Middle East, or that's pushing up the price of oil and fossil fuels and gas, which electricity is closely linked to. But what's happening, even without those individual situations, electricity prices are doubling, and it's causing a tremendous amount of pain across businesses, across the economy in the United Kingdom. But not just us, but globally.
Definitely. And
There
you
you go. There's a lot
mentioned
of information in a couple of minutes, Regan.
I couldn't have put it better myself, Jason. So what I was going to say was you mentioned a lot of the benefits around cost and decreasing carbon output there. But kind of is there any kind of obviously it's as you said, it's a no-brainer for companies to get involved, but are there any kind of added extras and benefits of the Wheel of Success that if cost and reducing carbon output weren't enough, is there anything else that kind of companies can receive as a benefit from Dell Power Solutions or the Wheel of Success in general as well?
Yeah, I think historically, what we call behind the meter energy storage systems for commercial industrial applications, it's been quite difficult to put the business case together because you've been 100% reliant on what we call the grid revenues through frequency response services since the EFR tender came out back in 2016-17, which kicked off the battery industry in the United Kingdom. a lot of businesses over the last 5 or 6 years have been very much focused on grid scale battery systems or utility scale. So you see containers and fields near substations all connected up. But if you look at the people who are funding those projects, like Gresham House, Gore Street Capital, Harmony Energy in the United Kingdom, those big ones, if you look at this quarter, they're now, I think they've frozen dividends for this quarter on income. So that's quite an issue because what we saw in 2023 was battery revenues fall quite considerably due to reorganization or restructuring of the ancillary services sector. So it's been hard to stack up that should we do this, should we not, because we're focused on purely and simply on the ancillary grids revenues. That hasn't quite made the finance payments to cover the battery storage system. Then you look at, okay, well, I can save a little bit behind the meter on my distributor use of duos charges and TNUoS charges and balancing services use of system charges. If I'm buying my electricity at a different time of day and I'm not consuming during the red zone or the peak time between 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the afternoon, if I'm not consuming energy, then I can maybe save 10 pence on my distribution use of system charges per kilowatt hour. But what we're talking about now is the system pays for itself out of energy bill savings. Then you've got the CO2 benefits. And if you're trying to reduce your CO2 elsewhere in the business, you've got significant capex you're going to have to spend, which isn't saving the business money in the same way. So when we now look at the grid revenues, even though a few years ago they were generating £180,000 plus per megawatt per year, net going forwards, you're probably looking at closer to 70, £80,000 a megawatt per year going forwards. That's gravy. The system's already paid for itself through the savings of your energy bills. This is a game changer. Having this unique electricity supply tariff through Dale Power Solutions, accompanied by a battery storage system with guaranteed 100, independently verified, guaranteed 100% renewable energy, powering your entire factory or your entire organization, whether you're a hospital, whether you're a commercial office building, whether you're a data center, whether you're manufacturing steel bolts to bolt wind turbines together, whether you're packaging mineral water you're sucking out of the ground. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, this can have the same effect. And we believe that nobody else has presented a battery storage system behind the meter with this kind of wheel of success with all the pieces of the puzzle in one place. So we're hoping it's unique. Let us know if you've got it somewhere else and we'll see what else we can do.
Definitely. And obviously, from what all you've said there, obviously it kind of the business case for the wheel of success and battery storage kind of does stock up. But historically, do you think that the business case of battery storage stocks up behind the meter, which is a massive part of the wheel of success itself?
Yeah, I think historically it's been very close. I mean, I spoke at Solar and Storage Live in Birmingham at the NEC several years ago, and the London Energy Storage Summit and various other conferences, and said, look, I believed at the time through finance and funding, when we still had triads, if you're consuming electricity at the points of highest demand on the grid, then you're penalized through a triad charge on your energy bill every month for the following year. And that's based on your level of demand during those triad periods. Ofgem, in their infinite wisdom, decided to abandon that policy and have a slightly different charging structure. That kind of reduced the business case. When you lose your triad benefits, you've still got your duos charges on your energy bills. We can help you avoid those with a battery storage system. So historically, it's been a much more difficult, and the upside was much, much smaller. Today, in 2024 and going forwards, we believe that through our nighttime tariff, our battery storage tariff that we're designing, with one of the big six energy companies, we believe we can provide the cheapest, cleanest, and greenest electricity as possible to buy commercially in Britain, but only if you've got a battery storage system from Dale Power Solutions.
100% as well. And I mean, if that doesn't sum up the wheel of success by Dale Power Solutions, I don't know what will. I certainly can do a better job. Obviously, you've mentioned all the benefits of it as well. Obviously, stand G8 at Solar and Storage Live London. But a little birdie's told me that if you bring a copy of your energy bill to your stand at Solar and Storage Live London, they can get two benefits. I'll leave you to explain what people who visit stand G8 at Solar and Storage Live London can do if they bring an energy bill.
Nice. There are indeed two benefits. This case of which one to prioritize first. If people are attending the show and you bring along your energy, a recent electricity bill, doesn't have to be the last month, sometime within the last 6 months or so, it'll give us an idea of your consumption and the price we're paying at the moment. So we'll pull 5 data points off that energy bill, and we'll do some indicative analysis and average out. Look at it over a 12-month period and say, this is the potential savings in terms of cash and in terms of CO2 that you may be able to achieve for your business. Um, if there's something tangible there and it looks like it's a viable project going forwards, what we will then do is say, okay, we'll take that indicative, then we'll go back after the show and look at detailed half-hourly consumption data for the last 12 months. Where are your spikes? Where's your highest consumption? Are you working 7 days a week, 5 days a week? We can do all the detailed modeling afterwards. And we take that data, put it through our model, and then we'll be able to give a more accurate forecast of CO2 and energy bill savings. And then the second benefit, of course, will give you a little tiny something to take away, whether that's a miniature energy storage solution for charging your phone, or whether it's something else. I know somebody's talking about tickets to the Euro finals, but I'm not a football fan, so you never know. There's a lot of them out there. We'll see what we can find for a competition wise.
I mean, well, I'm a football fan, so I'm definitely going to bring an energy bill. Maybe I'll ask the Terrapin office manager to give me one of the companies on some weekend, and I can grab those tickets for obviously not for me, but to share them around in the office at Solar and Storage Live. But Jason, that was my final question. Thank you for joining Solar and Storage Extra, and yeah, looking forward to see you at Solar and Storage Live London.
Right, see you there and at the NEC in October.